Hi everyone, I'm Stuart from the Norfolk Honey Company. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to our Fishing Lakes apiary, where I've already inspected. So at this particular apiary, those of you that aren't watching on Patreon, just watching on YouTube, in this apiary we have a variety of hive types. We've got 14 by 12s, some nationals, we've even got a top bar hive. And I came over and inspected here a couple of days ago in this ongoing journey that we have, trying to increase the number of colonies that we've got, and carried out several inspections both here and at another site at this particular Fishing Lakes location. And we've actually found quite a number of queen cells. So we've started splitting colonies, and you can probably see in the background some colonies with a blue board. And that blue board is our split board. It's a kind of version of a demery board, a very simple split technique, which we'll shoot a video of. And I think that's probably going to go onto the Patreon page. So if you're interested in seeing how we do that, then do pop across to our Patreon page. And there's a link in the description below. But while I was inspecting, yesterday, in fact, I discovered that the nuke that we've got in the little box, it's a BS Honeybee's 2-in-1 poly nuke box, is actually bursting at the seams and needs to go into a hive. So we've been out inspecting, so please excuse the general state of my shoddy bee suit. But we've been inspecting all day, and I suddenly remembered that I need to get over here and move this nuke into a full-size hive. Otherwise, if I leave it a week, they're going to swarm. So really, it's just a very quick video to show you how we move a nuke into a full-size hive. I've got to come back again tomorrow because I need to pick up a feeder and some syrup, but I'll talk about that when we're shifting them across. If you're new to beekeeping, it's a very simple process, nothing to be worried about, but there's just one or two little tips that you need to follow in order to make sure that it's a successful transfer from the poly box into the full-size hive. So let's get our hoods up, go over to the hive, and I'll show you what we're doing. So here we are, we've got our 6-frame nucleus colony here, and we're just going to open them up and move this box off the stand. So they've been here a while. So if you've recently purchased a nuke, you want to leave it on its stand for a couple of days, probably 24 hours would be sufficient, but a couple of days would be fine. So we'll just take the roof off, and you can see how many bees we've got in here. It's absolutely heaving with bees, so they are desperate to go into a full-size hive. We'll just give them a little bit of smoke, just to let them know that we're about and that we're going to be, unfortunately, just pulling them about a little bit, and then stuck to the stand. It's been here so long, and that weighs quite a lot. So we move it in front of the position that the hive's going to occupy, and then we can move this strap out of the way. And then we want to put our replacement kit on the stand, and we can sort this all out. No need to rush, you can take your time doing this. Just take that strap out, we don't need that strap, that was just for transportation. Move that to one side. And then we deconstruct this hive. This is a national hive. I think we've got 12 frames in here. So we need to take some of these frames out. So these are frames with foundation, and that's why we need a feeder, because we want to feed the bees so they can draw all of this foundation into comb that they can then use. So we'll take out some of these frames, and that just gives us plenty of room to work in. So this is an old hive that's been used many times before, and each time we want to reuse them, we just scrape them out and give them a scorch with a flame, just to kill off any bugs or diseases that might be lingering in here, and then we boil up the frames, fit fresh foundation to them, and it's ready to be used again. So let's see if we can move these across. So first tip of the day is you can reuse your equipment, especially the frames. Just cut all of the wax out and then boil them up and refit foundation. So let's just take out so many bees. I'm just going to use the lugs to lift these out with the Hive tool. Now, it would be handy to see the queen, but we don't actually need to see the queen. So lots of brood here, and they are in fact starting to throw some queen cells. So if I just shake these bees off, I can't see the queen, and that's what I'm really looking for. So I'll just knock these bees off, and you can see the queen cells that are starting to be formed at the bottom of this frame. So we'll take those off and pop this frame in here. Now, the key to a successful transfer is making sure that you have the frames going into this box in the same order that they are in the nuke box. So this is the second frame, and so that goes ahead of this first frame. And the reason we do that is to make sure that any high spots that there might be on those frames don't then rub against high spots. If I were to turn this frame around, there could well be a high spot on this side that would crush bees, so we want to avoid that. Now, having seen that we've got some queen cells, I should add, if you see queen cells, you really want to check to see that you've got eggs. Now, I know that we had eggs in here yesterday, so all's well, but I can see some eggs in some of the cells here. Don't see any additional queen cells, but if you're beginning and you do see some queen cells, then you really want to knock the bees off all of the frames to just make sure that there are no additional queen cells hidden at the bottom of the frame. And then we move on to the next frame. So again, looking for the queen. Can't see the queen on here, so I'm going to knock the bees off again because I've spotted more queen cells. So we've got a queen cell down here, so I'm just going to pinch it. There's a queen cell at the side of the frame. We'll turn it over, and we've got another queen cell to the side of the frame there. And then this goes in against the previous frame. If you forget which way round you've got it, and you can't remember whether it's going in the right way, where you pull it away from the other frames, you'll get wax comb that tears. And what you can do is hold it against the previous frame to see if it actually joins up. And in this instance, this is the right way round because it connects to the frame next to it. So while there are no bees on the frames, I'm just going to scrape away the wax comb on the top, and that will just help us when we come to inspect them the next time. And on to the next frame. So many bees and lots of brood. I know that the queen is marked in this colony, so she should be fairly easy to spot. And if you don't want to shake the bees off, you can move them with your fingers. So another top tip, just ease your fingers across the backs of the bees and they will spread apart, and you can see exactly what's going on beneath it. The same on this side. We'll have a look down the sides, along the bottom, because we're looking for queen cells. I can't see anything in there, so that all looks fine. So we won't shake that one. We can position that in that. And we'll go to the next one. Again, first priority is trying to spot the queen, just to make it absolutely certain that you've transferred her across. We've got another rudimentary queen cup here, and if I peel that back I can just see inside, and actually there isn't anything in that one, so we can move this across without incident. Again, I didn't see any queen cells, so that one can go in. And then we've got our final frame here. These bees are nice and calm, so we don't need to use lots of smoke. And in fact, if you use a lot of smoke, it can potentially drive the queen down and onto the sidewall of the boxes. So this is all food stores, and they've actually been so short of space that they've been developing comb from the bottom of the frame here, and what you can do is just use your hive tool to scrape some of that away. But again, all food, no sign of the queen here, so we can pop that in there. And then we just need to have a look in our nuke box to see if we can see the queen in here. Again, we've got some comb. So I'm just scanning along the side walls of this box just to see if I can see our queen. We have eggs, so I know that she's been laying eggs in the last 3 days, because when she lays an egg it remains an egg for 3 days. But I can't see her obviously in this box, so we can shake some of these bees out, and by doing that sometimes you'll find that she's still clinging to the side of the box, and it makes it a little bit easier to spot her. The bees do make quite a racket, so be prepared for that. If you're new to beekeeping, they will make quite a noise, and it kind of echoes in the box. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the kind of noise that they will make, and it can sound quite alarming. But we'll just shake the rest of these bees out. And what I'm particularly looking for now is to make sure that all of the bees are out of the box and the queen is not in there at all. So we can move this box out of the way. And it's important to move the nuke box out of the way because there will still be pheromone from the queen in this box, and you don't want the bees to start coming back to this box in favour of the hive that you've got there. So we'll just move this out of the way. And then what we're going to do is to just close them up. And by that, all I mean is we're just going to push all of these frames across. Now in a national hive, normally you'd have 11 frames and then maybe a dummy board at the end. A dummy board just fills in the space at this end. But in some instances, you can get a 12th frame in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that would be the normal number of frames in there, but we'll pop one more in down this edge, and that can fill in that gap. We just need to close them up a little bit and then it will slide in. If you're new to beekeeping, then I would stick with 11 frames because it's far easier to have 11 and you can manipulate them a whole lot easier. So what we need to do is just check the roof as well. So the queen will sometimes be running around on the roof of the nuke box, so just check that she's not there. And then again we can tap these bees off the roof onto the hive, move that out of the way, And that's really all there is to it. What you should do now is pop a feeder on. But unfortunately, our feeders are at our workshop, so I need to go across and collect one of those. You can see all the bees at the front here. Once they've realised that they need to be inside there, they'll move in. With the bees at the top here, when you put the roof on, you could end up crushing them. So the best thing to do is to just brush them off, and then you can pop the roof on before they come back up. And that's really all there is to it. Moving a nuke into a full-size hive is a very straightforward job. They do need feeding, so we will pop back to the workshop, pick up a feeder, and I'll probably come back tomorrow morning and just put that on. But otherwise, it's as simple as that. We've got lots more colonies that we need to check. We've got lots more nukes that need to go into full-size hives. And our plans for this year involve building up our stocks to over 200 colonies so that we can take advantage of the borage pollination in particular that we're being asked to provide in the summer. So do join us for that. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell symbol to be alerted when we've got new videos that are being published, and they're coming out once a week now. And I look forward to sharing more of our beekeeping journey with you next time. Thanks for watching.